Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about misbehaving overseas. Currently, right now, we got this jackass YouTuber, Johnny Somali, who decided to go to country and being highly disrespectful to the people, the customs and cultures of that country. First, he was in Japan. I think he may have served some jail time there. Then he went over to Israel, um, started some mess over there at a very bad time. And then he decided to go. Right now, he's currently in South Korea, where not only he's been brought up on charges, he is now not allowed to leave the country because they're still investigating it. But he's gotten beaten up a couple times, and they got a bounty on him, and they're live streaming it. People looking for him. So this is not a good look, and it's not a good look because Johnny Somali is an American citizen, and it's a bad image for us because now the South Korean parliament is now involved in the situation. So when you misbehave like this, it's a black eye. It's a really big black eye. Ben being also of a darker skin because he's Somalian slash Ethiopian, I believe. He does have dark skin, so they're just gonna say he's a black guy. So now it draws in us, giving us a bad image internationally. And these are the things that can happen when you have people doing stupid stuff like this. And it's not just for against us as black people, but we're talking about people as a whole. You get people from different countries doing different stuff, acting entitled, not paying attention to rules and stuff, and just doing whatever they want to do because they're on vacation and they feel entitled, but they don't realize the consequences to some of these actions. Yeah, maybe it's a little extreme, but some of the things that some people do on vacation, you can cause some problems. I mean, for the most part, no, just hey, just move along. But for the most part, a lot of people do a lot of stupid stuff. And I'm going to get a little bit into a few things as far as the consequences, what could happen when you're overseas. When you're in a foreign country, you need to act like, well, basically, you need to remember that, yeah, go have fun and enjoy yourself, but also remember that you are a representation of the country you came from. You represent the United States. You have to act accordingly, follow the rules and guidelines of that country. That is expected of you. More importantly, and for me, I represent my race, my ethnicity. In this world, there are certain perceptions on how certain people act, and I want to rid the world, not per se rid, but get rid of this whole racist stigma. So when I go to different countries, I act a particular way. I don't act like I'm from the block. I don't act like a hood. I don't act like a thug. I'm very polite and very kind. I don't bring that debauchery and ratchetness, from the hood, overseas. That stays where it stays in the block. You leave America in America. This is your opportunity to be at peace and enjoy the comfort of, a host country. They're the host, you're the guest, and you got to keep it in that mindset. A lot of people don't because they feel entitled. They're American. My tourist dollars help you, which is totally false. Um, so a lot of people come in with this entitlement, thinking they're better than every freaking body else, which in actuality, you're just causing more and more headaches and more problems. And when you do that, there's going to be a lot of countries that don't want Americans coming over there, or they don't want your ethnicity coming over there. And those are things you got to keep in mind. And they're only going to take one, two, or a few to ruin it for everyone else. So we got to check that and start policing amongst ourselves, because if we don't say anything, then we just become complicit to the whole thing. Next, I want to talk about jurisdiction. When you're in another country, you belong to that jurisdiction, meaning basically the United States Constitution, Bill of Rights, and all that stuff is no longer applicable. It is tossed out the window. You are under whatever rules and regulation of that country. You violate it in any way, shape, or form, you deal with whatever happens. That's why the U.S. State Department puts out those travel advisory. You look at them, you read them, and you understand. You go into this country, these things can happen. You know, there's some countries that are unfair. There are some countries that, you know, don't like you because of you being American or you being a particular race. But when you go over there and you act stupid in a particular country, you belong to them. You violate any laws over there, you belong to them. They can escalate it, they can, you know, de-escalate it. Doesn't matter. In one such case, just to give you an example, a guy, a YouTuber in the Philippines, you know, hooked up with this girl. She said she was 18. Okay, they decided to get a hotel room and do what lovers do. Next day she was crying. Then went to the cops and told her real age, which was 17. So he gets arrested for having sexual relations with a minor. They took her side because why? She's the local. You're the foreigner, which is a disadvantage for you guys. So you need to just be careful when you start messing around, especially you guys doing pay-for-play stuff overseas. You really need to be careful because some of these IDs these women have are fake. And not only they're fake, they may come from a different country. And the country that they're in don't know that they're fake because they don't have the proper methodologies or the equipment to determine if they're fake or not. That's the problem. Like all the Venezuelan women that's in Colombia that's pushing out these fake IDs saying that they're 18 or 20 or whatever, but they look like they're 15. They don't know that. They can't determine that because it's from a different country. So that's why you have to be careful. Because if for some reason it was able to be determined and you got caught up in that pay-for-play stuff, no. Don't matter. You still going. No excuse. Ignorance is not an excuse. You're getting hooked up. Period. You're going to get charged. And since you're into that jurisdiction, you're going to fall into that jurisdiction's judicial process. I kind of want to bring this more in concept before I show this video. You got to understand that this is, when we're overseas and you acting up, this can drastically affect foreign policy. And the United States is not going to jeopardize their relationship with other countries because you decide you want to act like a fool. They will take steps to rectify the situation and make sure this stuff don't happen again, at least for with you. And in this case, when I show this video, shout out to Legal Mindset. He's reading off some of these laws from the United States, what they can do. And basically, you can get your passport limited or revoked. And because, like I said, these are serious matters. This is why you don't act up overseas, because they can arrest you and stuff like that. And like I said, U.S. government can be like, nah, leave him in there because he act like an idiot. I ain't going to arrest him. And for all you black travelers out there, I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to say. You represent about 14% of passport holders. The rest are from different ethnic background, mostly white. That means in these jails, as in these foreign countries, however so bad, you got a lot of white people you ain't going to see home. Because some of these sentences that they get are very, very long. And they're very, very strict. Even first timers or what have you. And some of these charges are very trumped up. So you need to behave. Seriously. You are a treat to them because they don't get a lot of us over there doing stupid stuff like these guys do, or even not do stupid stuff. And they just want to just hook you up just because. So it behooves you to check your ego, your attitude, your persona back in the United States. Now, in this case of Johnny Somali, legal mindset, shout out to him. He's going to break it down what could happen to your passport, because all this deals with a lot of jeopardizing homeland security and foreign policy.
So why this is relevant is when you look at the laws related to limitation and revocation of a passport. This is a U.S. passport law. This is section 5162 and 5160 of the U.S. Code. So let's look at this and see how we can lose his passport, right? So here's what is up on in the provisions for revocation or limitation of a passport. So the U.S. Department of State can revoke or limit a passport when the bearer of the passport may be denied a passport under 22 CFR 5160 or 5161 or 28 or any other provision. So if they have grounds to deny you a passport, they have grounds to revoke or limit your passport. So limit could be, for example, his passport gets limited so he can only use it to come home. And that's all. Passports are not a human right. They are a privilege. A passport is a privilege. It is not a right. Let's see here. Here we go. If the secretary determines the applicant's activities abroad are causing or likely to cause serious damage to the national security or foreign policy of the U.S., at this point, this is absolutely causing serious problems, right, for the foreign policy. It's making the U.S. look horrible. And here we go. If the department is informed by appropriate foreign government authority or international organization that the applicant is subject of a warrant for arrest for a felony. So in the other country, so when Korea arrests him for a felony, they can revoke his passport right there under D. That's what I was looking for. There's multiple provisions that could apply here.
But okay, to conclude this video, let me just say this. This is your warning. Take it as it is. This is your warning. You screw up, you mess up, you're on your own. I just laid down what's going to happen if you mess up. Okay? You are in someone else's jurisdiction. However bad their justice system is, you will go through it. You have no savior when you're in a foreign country. However the treatment is in that jail, you're going to go through it. There is no constitutional rights. There is no Bill of Rights. There is nothing when you're in a foreign country. So if you want to act up like you back on the block or whatever, or you're entitled, feel free. But when you get hooked up, it's on you. There is no State Department. And now that the election is over, Trump is not going to be your savior. Because when they find out the details of what happened and what you were doing, yeah, there's not going to be someone coming to save you. Keep that in mind. If you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.